Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Usiko Beauty, and as you can tell by the background, this video is a lot different. This is my very first story time video, and this is something new that I'm going to be trying out, and if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe. So this video is about the time I got racially profiled at a place I worked at. At the time, I was still an employee. So a little background, okay? I used to work, it was like a grocery chain store type style place, and I worked at, I had two jobs. So I would work one until like midnight, and then I would go back, I would go to my other job, which is this job right now, the grocery store one, about 4 a.m. to about 7 or 8-ish, or 9, I actually don't remember my hours, but I would do, I would cut the fruits and the vegetables, make the parfaits that would be sold a day up, so that was kind of like what I did. I was also trained to be cashier, so when I had applied, I had wanted to work as a cashier. That's ideally what I wanted to do, but I was also really in need of money, so it was like, put me wherever you want. So they really did. They put me in the back in the cold at 4 o'clock in the morning. So to be fair, I didn't really know my coworkers that well, so that is my only reasoning to why they didn't recognize me, okay? And the lady who actually trained me for my cashier position was the same lady who racially profiled me in this story. Okay, we're gonna name her Rachel. So, so that's pretty much the gist of this company and all that great jazz. So, what happened was, one of my friends had gotten really sick, and she had hit me up. She was like, yo, I'm worried this happened with Dubu, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I just came from the ER, they gave me this, they prescribed me this medicine, but I don't have a way to get it. And I was like, don't worry about it, I got you. At the time I didn't have a car, so I called a taxi to pick, me and her boyfriend, we'll call him John, and her boyfriend's friend, we'll call him Mike. So John and Mike and I get in the taxi and we go to the store to go to the pharmacy so we can pick up her medicine, okay? So at first I thought it was going to be something super short, so I was like, okay, they already gave her the prescription, all she had to do is go pick it up. But I guess they had to I don't know what, it took forever, so I ended up having to tell the taxi person, just go, we'll call you back when we're ready. And so John, the boyfriend, was the one who was actually at the pharmacy taking care of everything. We were standing next to him, kind of just walking around the store, waiting, and I was like, this is honestly really weird. Excuse me. And at the time, I knew we came in hot because where I went to college, not that many people of color and not a lot of black people. So when we showed up, we was looking real. Okay, so I will say that does not mean anything, okay, because I am still that person in that town, outside the town, wherever I go till I die, okay? I don't know why I'm getting real hostile with y'all, I'm sorry, I'm still a little angry, I'm still a little hurt there. Yeah, so we came in a little deep, in puffy jackets, sagging pants, I had on this really dope army jacket, it was oversized. Let me tell you, my swag was dripping, okay, and if I can say I still look good, okay? And so at the time we had, so he had gone to go take care of that, we're waiting, and I was like, you know what, they have a little area up at the front, it's kind of like a coffee shop vibe. There's tables set up, and there's TVs and stuff like that. So I was like, we'll just wait at the front, and then when you're done, John, you just let us know, and then I'll call the taxi and we'll go. So that was the plan. And we're sitting there, and I don't really know this guy, Mike. Nubia, no more. Go away. No. So me and Mike are trying to get acquainted. I don't really know this kid. I'm pretty sure I'm never gonna see him again. So I'm just trying to make small talk, trying to chat with him. And I noticed this lady walk by, and I know exactly who it was. It was Rachel, my trainer, okay? And mind you, I can say this, I look a lot different in multiple situations. Depending on where you see me, you probably won't even recognize me, which is fair, but I'm still the same person, so it's still not okay. So I don't think she had recognized me at the time, because, you know, when I had applied and I just looked different, and when I showed up right now as a regular old customer in my baggy clothes, I know I didn't look like the girl who was working the cashier, I'll tell you that. However, I still deserve to be treated with respect, okay? So we're sitting there and I'm chopping it up with homie, and I'm like trying to tell him, you know, about things that we do out here in this college town, because he's not from here. He was visiting his homie, John. So I'm, you know, he's asking me questions, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what we do. And I see out the corner of my eye Rachel walk by, and Rachel didn't just walk by like, no, she walked by like staring, and I mean staring with her soul. And I was like, interesting. I didn't say nothing the first time. She walked by a second time, and again, I didn't say anything because I was like, I mean, she just went that way, so it makes sense that she'd have to go back to where she came from, right? So I was like, okay, that makes sense. The third time is when I was like, yo, I looked at what we calling Mike. I was like, Mike, you see this? Mike, you see this? He's like, yeah. I don't know why she. Yeah, I see. And I was like, all right. I just gotta make sure I'm not crazy now. I just gotta make sure I'm not crazy, okay? So she walks by a third time. And so we have this little chat about it. The fourth time she walks by, and I'm like, okay, okay, that's interesting. That's quite interesting. Wow. And I didn't want to start anything, and I didn't want to make it into a thing, because one, I worked there, so I didn't want to be known as the angry person. But also, I didn't really understand the situation. This was my first time ever being directly supervised in this manner. Like, I know when people are looking at you and watching you to see if you're stealing stuff, but we're sitting down minding our business talking, okay? And about 15 minutes passed by, and I'm like, yo, I'm mad hungry. And so they also sold hot food, and so I just went to the food court area, and I grabbed myself some. I think I got like rice and chicken and some vegetables or some shit like that. So I got some food, and the lady had asked me, oh, do you want a receipt? And I was like, no, I'm about to eat this shit right here anyway, so why do I need a receipt? So she gives me my plate, she gives me my bowl, I pick up a tray, I get myself a little disposable fork and or whatever, and I sit down to eat with Mike. And I didn't even ask Mike, my bad, Mike, is you hungry? I didn't even ask Mike if he was hungry. I knew I was, and I was not trying to be out there hungry for however long we had to be there for. So I'm sitting there eating my food, and then eventually I realized I didn't even offer, but I didn't have enough money to buy him anything either, and I don't know this cat, so I was like, I would just eat it when we go home. Okay, so I like put my cover back on, and I'm just sitting there, so we're chopping it up, and then Rachel walks by again, and I'm like, bro, what do you want? I didn't do all that. Inside I did that. On the outside I said, okay. Okay. And she comes up and she like squats down to our table. And mind you, let me lay out the atmosphere, okay? So this area that we're at is kind of like at the very, very front, but it's kind of made into an area where you can go in, you can hang out, you can talk. Like I told you, had like a coffee shop vibe. And there was a guy sitting over here. I'm not trying to assume anything, but there was an older white man that was sitting over there, and he just looked like somebody who was just kind of just kicking it there. It's not like he was dressed to the T, but he did look a little grungy, right? And I'm all for the grungy look, so I'm not even trying to come for the man. So he was sitting there, and then I had another guy who was sitting like over there next to us, and I knew that guy. So when I had gotten my food and everything, like I walked past him, and I had to walk past him again. I did greet him or whatever, and so we had already had our little, so how you doing, what are you doing? He was studying. I mean, he was a person of color. He was not black, but he was still a person of color. So he and I had already worked on projects for the diversity center for the college that we were going to. So he and I already had a repertoire. We already understood like signs and peeping and stuff like this. So that's kind of like the layout. So white man there, another student over there doing homework, and then me and Mike. And Mike is just sitting there, you know, kicking it, and I'm sitting there eating my food, and I eventually felt bad, so I just covered it up, and I, you know, was sitting there. And then she comes up to us, and she's like, I just want to let you know that this is a loitering free zone. And I'm looking around like, who's loitering? Like, and mind you, there is no signs in this place that says that this is a loitering free zone. It was nowhere in our employee handbook that this was a loitering free zone. So there was no way for anybody who wasn't already part of this whatever to even know, because it was never a thing. So when she came to me about that, and I was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. We're sitting here waiting for a friend who's at the pharmacy. And she was like, well, I just want to let you know that you can't just sit here. And I was like I just said, we're not just sitting here, we're waiting. But anyways, I'm a customer right now, okay? I just purchased my food. I'm eating my food. You can see the plate in front of me. I'm in the process of consuming a product that I purchased at this institution. I didn't say all that, but I was like, no. I mean, if anything, I just bought this food. I'm just sitting down eating while I'm waiting for my friend. And she's like, well, I need to see your receipt. Mind you, before she gave the cashier lady gave me my plate, usually they'll print out a little sticker and then they'll seal it over like the food. Like if you're gonna get some JoJo's or whatever, they'll put it in a little bag and then they'll seal the bag with a sticker that has the time, the day, and the ounces and the prices of what you just purchased. So on my rice bowl, they had the same sticker. So literally, you can see on the plate that I had just bought this food less than 30 minutes ago. Like I'm literally, and it's still hot. Like I'm still eating. Well, I wasn't eating, but I'm still in the process of eating. Like I'm literally, my food is sitting here. I'm consuming my food, a product that I purchased. And I was like, and then she's coming at me and she's like, well, I need to see proof of purchase. And I was like, well, I don't really have that because I told the cashier that I don't have one. She's like, well, if you don't have one, then I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Excuse me. What? First of all, I've never heard anything like that. Second of all, and this is me like after the fact, okay? So I'm not talking to her like this. This is me as I'm reading it out loud. Nubia, leave it. As I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, wow, she really tried it. But yeah, she's like, oh yeah, if you can't prove to me that you purchased that here, we're gonna have to ask you to leave. And that's when my friend who was studying over here was like, no, what you're not gonna do is sit here and really come for my friend like that. So he came in and was like, no, because I have been here. I have not purchased anything. I've been here for almost an hour, probably a little bit longer. I don't remember how long he said he was there for. But he was like, I've been here for twice as long. They came here after me. Not once did you monitor me in the manner that you monitored them. Not once did you come up to me and tell me that it was a loitering free zone. And then while he's talking, the white man over here was like, no, for real. Like, I come here all the time. He was like, I come here all the time. I've never had anybody and nobody ever say anything to me about that. So once these two dudes start talking, I'm like, yeah, because you're racially profiling me, homie. So I get bucked. I mean, I'm not getting bucked, but I threw out the trigger words. I hit her with the nice words that are gonna get her together. And I was like, look here, Rachel, okay, I don't appreciate you coming at me. I already told you I am a customer. I am waiting for my friend, and for you to come here and ask me to leave is racial discrimination, and I don't appreciate it. And then as soon as I said those two words, sis got shook, okay? She got shook it. She was like, I'm stuttering. And I was like, you're not what? Say it. She's like, I'm not doing that. She wouldn't even say the word. Like, she literally was like, no, I was just saying. And she got all hot and red and all flustered, and I was sitting there like, bro, what do you want from us? We're sitting here minding our business. You're trying to kick us out for no reason. We're not like, and mind you, we're not loud. We're not doing anything that's causing attention. I don't even know this kid, so I'm just sitting here trying to like chat with him. Like, we're doing small talk. I'm on my phone. I'm eating. Like, we're not out here like running around like hooligans, like trying on stuff, and like, I'm not doing anything like that. So I was really surprised as to why Rachel was really trying to come at me as hot as she did. And mind you, there was no signs anywhere saying those things. So how is somebody who is not part of this community supposed to know these things? And mind you, I worked here. Okay, I literally worked at this place. So the fact that she didn't recognize me, and no, I wasn't gonna tell her who I was, because who I am outside of the workplace is me, myself, and I, and they don't need to have that much control of my life. They don't need to have that much leeway and that much, no, they don't need to know who I be. They didn't ask for my ID or anything like that, so I did appreciate that. However, as an employee, as somebody who worked there, I was like, I don't like that y'all, this is how y'all handle your business. So yes, I ended up quitting that job that same week. And it was honestly so embarrassing. And if it wasn't for those two guys stepping up, and mind you, old boy sitting here like, he was a little younger, I think. Yeah, because I think they were freshmen at the time, and I think he was, we called him John's friend from like high school or something. So he was younger. And so I can understand like why he was a little quiet and didn't like speak up and be as vocal. But as somebody who has, you know, exposed herself to these kinds of situations and have been prepared, I am very, very lucky and blessed that I was able to address the situation, and it was calmed down by two different allies. And so that's kind of like one thing that I do want you to take away from this video is if you have, and if you sit there and you're noticing, like even if you're not a privileged person, you know, my friend was another person of color, you know, he's not going to get the same treatment as the white man would have. If the white man had said it first, then maybe he, you know, everything would have been a lot different. But regardless, they used their roles, they saw that we were being mistreated, and they said something. And that's honestly the only thing that can help change. It's those little minute things that add up to the big changes, like the policy changes and stuff. It starts off with those tiny small steps where you see an injustice, you see something that, you know, somebody being treated wrong, and you say something. That's how you become an ally, and that's how you act on your allyship. I don't know the words. But that's the only way that you can be, not the only way, but that is a major way that you can actually make an impact. Because if it wasn't for those two people, I don't think I would have had the courage to speak up for myself in the way that I did, and for this young man, you know. I think I felt very attacked. Well, I don't think, but I know I felt very attacked, and I wanted to be defensive, but I also know that could be read in a different way. So I kind of had to choose and pick like how to respond and all this stuff. And them doing that, kind of creating a buffer, and also calling her out, having, you know, more than one person calling you out, definitely helped her realize like, whoa, wait a minute, maybe I was, because as soon as, you know, I told her that she was racially profiling me and that it was discriminatory for her to kick me out, and not these two people who have been sitting here longer than we have and have no proof of purchase and no proof of anything that they were customers. As soon as I called her out for that, she was like, I just wanted to let you know for future reference, and then walked away. And I was like, after she left, I was like, yo, thank you, like thank you so much for saying something, and I appreciate y'all for doing that. If you're watching this, I don't even know if you even remember, but I appreciate you for doing that. That really definitely has made an impact in my life, because now when I see situations like that, I'm more willing to speak up for that person so that they can feel safe, to know that there's somebody on their side who sees that this is wrong and is willing to do something about it. And that is the best thing that you could do, because that's the only way we can make change, is by starting with the small things, because eventually they get bigger. And yeah, so that was kind of the end of that story. I got kind of preachy at the end, my bad. But it's kind of, sometimes things like that happen. But thank you so much for watching. And if you're interested in watching more like this, make sure that you are subscribed, like I said. Like and comment down below about a moment that you found yourself in, where you, either it was made better by somebody speaking up for you, or somewhere where you feel like you could have said something and didn't. I'm going to be looking forward to reading those, because I like reading stuff like that. And please actually leave comments, because I know it's me. And remember, peace, love makes the world go round. Thanks for watching. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye.